We meet today pursuant to notice to mark up 4 bipartisan measures. As your offices have been notified, it is the intent of the Chair to consider en bloc the following items which were previously provided to members and are in your folders. House Resolution 210, affirming and recognizing Khmer Laotian Hmong and Montagnard freedom fighters and the people of Cambodia and Laos for their support and defense of the United States Armed Forces and freedom in Southeast Asia. Included in that is Salmon Amendment 148 in the nature of a substitute to HRES 210. House Resolution 634, recognizing the importance of the United States Republic of Korea-Japan trilateral relationship to counter North Korean threats and nuclear proliferation and to ensure regional security and human rights. Salmon Amendment 146 in the nature of a substitute to HRES 634. House Resolution 728, supporting human rights, democracy, and the rule of law in Cambodia. Sherman Amendment 42 to HRES 728, and HR 4501, the Distribution and Promotion of Rights and Knowledge Act of 2016, without objection. These items are considered as read and will be considered en bloc. And I will now recognize members to speak on these items, beginning with myself and the ranking member. I'd like to speak in support of each of the measures our subcommittee will be marking up today. First, House Resolution 210, legislation introduced by Mr. Duffy of Wisconsin, recognizes the people of Cambodia and Laos for their support of the United States Armed Forces in Southeast Asia. Many ethnic groups in Cambodia and Laos fought with the United States Armed Forces, aided in rescue efforts, assisted with intelligence gathering, and provided food and shelter to our troops during the Vietnam War era. These acts are truly commendable, and this resolution seeks to recognize their important contributions in our shared history. I worked with Mr. Duffy in creating an amendment in the nature of a substitute and submit that today to clarify some of the language in the bill. The next item is House Resolution 634, a bill I introduced to recognize the strategic and security importance of the United States Republic of Korea-Japan trilateral relationship. North Korea continues its provocations, test firing 2 ballistic missiles just a couple of weeks ago. North Korea's bold-faced rejection of international norms and multiple UN resolutions is manifestly threatening the safety of the neighborhood and our close allies, Japan and Republic of Korea. Proving the administration's strategy of strategic patience is not working. As a result, we must work proactively with our allies to counter North Korean threats and nuclear ambitions. The Korean-Japan relationship has come a long way, and our 3 nations are now working closely together to confront the threat of a nuclear North Korea. These closer ties will ultimately foster increased security and ultimately improve the lives of all those on the peninsula and in the region. We can have no other expectation than that North Korea will continue its provocations, and we must stand firm with our allies and partner with them to deploy an anti-missile system that will protect their communities. This resolution puts forth congressional intent to bolster the trilateral relationship and offers support for regional ballistic missile defense systems and provides viable stability to the region. Next, House Resolution 728, introduced by our Foreign Affairs colleague, Mr. Lowenthal, seeks to support human rights, democracy, and the rule of law in Cambodia. I was proud to be the lead co-sponsor with him on this legislation to support democracy and human rights in Cambodia. I'm deeply concerned by the ongoing harassment of opposition politicians and growing restrictions on civil society and the press. The opposition leader remains in exile under the threat of arrest, and his deputy faces ostensibly politically motivated charges as well. There is much that must be done in Cambodia to ensure fair and free elections next year. This legislation will help facilitate the necessary changes. Our last item is HR 4501, the Distribution and Promotion of Rights and Knowledge Act of 2016, which I was pleased to introduce in partnership with Ranking Member Sherman. When looking at the mess that is North Korea, we largely have 2 means to improve security in the region and the lives of those within the Hermit Kingdom. First, under Chairman Royce's leadership, Congress has already imposed new sanctions to squeeze off funding mechanisms in an effort to reduce the means to proliferate nuclear weapons. Second, we need to provide information to the people of North Korea to empower them from the inside to reduce Kim Jong-un's influence and power. North Korean leadership maintains a stranglehold on information and only provides propaganda to preserve its power. In 2008, under the North Korean Human Rights Act, Congress authorized radio information flow into North Korea to educate and free the minds of the people. Technology and times have changed, and the programs we fund are in need of upgrades as well. This bill will improve content and listenership to empower the people of North Korea with information about the outside world and basic human rights by allowing distribution of devices as well as content within North Korea. These much-needed updates to the program will go a long way to undermine the regime's oppressive governance in North Korea. All these bills are solid bipartisan measures, and I urge my colleagues to support them as introduced or corrected by way of amendment in the nature of a substitute. And I'd like to recognize Mr. Sherman for any comments that he might have.